my scrappy friends, I have a fun layout for you today. I'm going to be doing a mixed media layout, and this was the layout that I shared on the SpiegelMom Scraps blog this Wednesday. So if you would like to just see pictures and read what I wrote about this layout, you can head over to the SpiegelMom Scraps layout blog where this layout is housed, and I will have the link in the description box below. I am taking acrylic paint, and right now I'm taking acrylic paint and I'm using some of the Shimmerz texture paste and red, and I am mixing orange and red to get a more red orange color, though I think I wished I would have made it a little bit more red, but that's okay. So I'm using my palette knife to create lines that are kind of supposed to look sort of like stitching or some kind of texture. That way, I really wanted to add something different. And the sketch that you've seen at the beginning of this video, which is designed by Laura, who is one of the design team members on SpiegelMom Scraps, she created the sketch for us to use this month for this for the challenge. So every month we have a design team member does a challenge on the Facebook group, and we eat. And so part of what us as a design team, we decided that it would be really fun if each of us tried to play along with the different challenges. So I'm using this, and I would have used this sketch anyway because I really love using sketches right now. It's my thing. It is my jam. And here's more acrylic paint, which is watered down. And I really like the way that this looks when you use a paintbrush. You can get really big chunks, splatters if you hold it up high and you use a bigger brush and a little bit more water. Because this is just for a scrapbooking layout, I don't really care that it's watered down a little bit. Obviously on a canvas, you wouldn't really want to water down acrylic paint too much, or it would hinder the way that your paint lays on the canvas, and it could eventually come and peel up. But I'm not worried about that because this is just the layout. But that is just something so for you to know that if you ever water down acrylic paint on a canvas, it will, or it could possibly come up eventually because you're really breaking down the molecules of the acrylic paint. The best thing to do would use is like a paint thinner. But like I said, this is just a layout. Also, I use my sketch pens on my silhouette to create that title and subtitle, which says Autumn. And that was actually a cut file. And then I used in just a font in the Silhouette Studio program. I just put the perfect sweater weather. So I knew I wanted to do a fall layout. I am really digging fall colors. And so I had this picture of me and my puppy Kona from one morning so every morning I have to go outside with her because she's a puppy and she doesn't always like to go to the bathroom by herself. And to make sure that she doesn't get into trouble, I stand out there, and a lot of times I'll go out in the middle of our yard to make sure that she actually goes away from the house, because if I sit on the patio, she will eat rocks. It's just as simple as that, right? And we have this stump that was cut from a tree at some point, and it's really fun looking. And so I took a picture from above, and you can see my gingham plaid type shirt, and it's very fall feeling, though this picture was actually taken near the end of August, so it was just barely starting to get chilly. But I am layering light colors that I used on the layout for the splatters, and I also did use some vibes too. There's a little bit of green and a little bit of raspberry, I think is what it's called. It's like a purpley color, and it really just reminds me of fall the leaves, all the different colors on the leaves. And especially at this point when this picture was taken, there was still quite a bit of green. So that's why I did add the green. Yeah. But I am making sure I use dimension in my layers. So that's why I'm using that foam. And it's not very thick, which is good because it just kind of adds just a little bit of texture, you know, and like dimension in between my layers, but not so much that it's crazy high. Also, I don't know if you noticed, but I had a bow that I tied with some blue and white twine. It's very light colored, so it's really hard to see it in this video. But I put a bow and then I stapled it in a couple of places on my photo. In the sketch, there is some thread or some kind of device that you could use to put sequins on. So I guess it doesn't have to be thread. It could be twine. It could be hemp. It could be anything you could, I don't know. I guess you could use paper maybe. So there's just different ways that you could do that. And she added the sequins in the sketch picture. The sequins are on the string or whatever. I decided not to do that. I just decided to use the hemp and make a bow, or the twine and make a bow. And then I'm going to put and scatter sequins in between the layers where the doily is and right at the bottom. So I am going to be putting them on my photo. But right now I am adding some clouds just to different parts. I thought maybe about putting one of the clouds in the layers, but I didn't like it. So I put it up at the top. It kind of covers some of the work that I did, the media work that I did up there. But I really wanted to have 3. So that's where that one went. There's really nothing else going on up there. I am going to put the date, and I found these Pink Fresh Studio wood pieces that are fall inspired, and some of them say like sweater weather. I think one says tall boots. So I use those on the clouds. I thought that it would just add something to those clouds. And I am layering some of the transparent leaves from the Shimmerz thing. Sorry, my brain couldn't find the words that I needed. There are a lot of different stickers in that Shimmerz pack, and they are very fall inspired. And I wanted to use that geotag, but it just didn't work. I didn't like it, but I really like how those transparent flower leaves look. They look like they're scattering off of my photo, and believe it or not, but we did have leaves falling from my tree in the yard already at this point when I took this photo, even though it was at the end of August. But now, for sure, the leaves on that tree are pretty much at peak, and probably next week, almost all of those leaves will probably fall off, which makes me happy as a scrapbooker because I am really looking forward to taking pictures of my kids playing in the leaves. Like right now, there's not that many that have fallen. I'm really looking for something to put up at the top, and I find that pink chipboard piece. I really love that chipboard pack. It is just so nice. There are just a lot of little pieces that are going to be fun for layering. I've, trying really hard not to use everything on one layout because I bought a whole bunch of new stuff. And here are a whole bunch of the SpiegelMom Scraps sequins that I'm going to be using the scatter. I also use some of those navy, like they're really dark. They're almost black, but they are blue. And those are the felty hearts, and I really love them. And she has some really small ones on a string, and I've used the string together. And this time I really wanted to just use those little tiny ones. I wanted to scatter those kind of like how I would have with the sequins. And right now I'm just gonna add a whole bunch of glue to the page, and then I'm gonna add my sequins and stuff. And I use the I use Autumn Joy pack, and then I use a Day in the Woods, I think. I just picked out the green ones. I am so bad about that. I love these sequin packs, and I love that there's multiple colors together, but but there are times where I just need just one color. And I really wanted to add some of the green to my page, because at this point when this picture was taken, there was still quite a bit of green, and I really wanted that green to be just amongst there. So I only scattered a few, but I did use a lot of those Autumn Joy, and they're like one of my favorite sequin packs. I really want to make some shaker pockets or something with them, because they're going to be really fun. But I really love how this layout turned out. It turned out so good, and just the dimension and texture that is on here from all the different things that I added is just amazing. And of course, my glue does not want to come out, because that always happens when you're trying to put sequins on and you don't want it to dry. Not that Glossy Accents dries right away, but it does dry pretty quick, so comparative to some other liquid glues, I think. I like Glossy Accents because it doesn't stick as much to my fingers, and even though it is a little glossy, if you use just a little teeny tiny bit, it's not too bad with the sequins. So that's my favorite glue, is the Glossy Accents. I do like the multi-mono, but it tends to be really sticky, and that kind of bugs me. I don't really like the feeling of glue on my fingers. I don't know how you guys are, but yeah. So I'm just kind of finishing up these sequins. I thought I was done, so I'm going to start like putting them away. And then I realized that I wanted more, and I decided to glue down those tile stickers that I just put the date. I just put 2016. I'm going to write September because it was pretty much September. And in the long run, it really isn't going to matter in my album whether this was the end of August or like the first day of September. So, and I'm going to add some journaling, some lines, and then I'm just going to journal right underneath that thing that says the perfect sweater weather. And I just kind of did a generic, yay, I love it now that it's fall and or getting to be fall time, and it's brisk and chilly in the mornings, and how I love my socks, my warm socks, and those slippers are just so comfy. They're so warm. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you like it, give me a thumbs up. And don't forget to head over to the SpiegelMom Scraps blog so you can check out some close-up pictures at your own pace. And I will see you guys later for some more goodness on my channel. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Bye.